All right, now it's time to invite our next speaker for the day. Let me introduce them. Mr. Sumit Sabharwal, Country Lead, Deel. Let me give a small brief about him. With over 22 years of extensive experience in leadership in HR, tech, fintech, and digital transformation, Sumit Sabharwal has been instrumental in scaling businesses, driving innovation, and shaping the future of work. As the country lead for Deel, India, and former CEO of Team Lease Digital, he has led hypergrowth strategies, transforming workforce management for over 4,000 plus B2B clients and 2 million plus employees. A recognized industry leader with a deep understanding of AI-driven workforce solutions, digital transformation, and global expansion, Mr. Sumit has successfully propelled organizations towards exponential revenue growth and high-impact innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome another eminent speaker present here today with us. Let's invite them on the dais. And the topic is going to be about empowering borderless teams, the strategic edge in a global talent landscape. So before we move ahead, everyone, I request, please have your seats and kindly put your mobile phones on the silent mode. And request, kindly do not talk in the middle because we have sessions that are going on, so I'm expecting everyone to maintain the decorum of the show. Thank you so much once again, everyone, for joining in. So please get ready for another insightful session. And with that, can we have them on stage with a huge round of applause, everyone? Come on, can we see some energy? Back in the air, come on, everyone.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Can I all request you to raise your hand, please? All of you. Thank you. Please take your hands on your mobile. And I'll request you to, if they are not on a silent mode, please put them on a silent or a vibration mode, please. Thank you. So first of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you because you have been here throughout the day, and that tells a lot about your passion and your commitment towards bringing a change in the HR fraternity. So thanks to each one of you for being here. First of all, a brief introduction about myself. I'm leading a company known as Deel, D-E-E-L, in India as a country leader. And I hail from the HR tech world itself. So I've got about 2 decades of experience total. And some of my previous stints include the CEO for Team Lease HR Tech in my last role, and the MD for Aeon Ude's Asia Pacific business, erstwhile Asia Pacific business, which is known as Excelity Global. With this brief introduction, I'd like to share with you the topic that I'm going to discuss with you today is on empowering borderless teams, the strategic edge with respect to the global talent landscape. Now, this may be of an interest to most of us who are working in HR departments in companies which are wanting to expand globally. And may I again request a show of hands in terms of which of the companies, if you're working with, want to expand globally, if your respective companies are already global or you are planning to expand globally. If you can just raise your hand. Okay, thank you. So, global expansion comes with a different level of challenges for any HR leader. Right? If people who have raised their hands, if they can tell me which is the biggest challenge that you face for when your business teams or when your CXOs or board members ask you about global expansion. Anyone can tell what is the biggest challenge that you face. May I have please, if you can just stand up. May I have an applause for you? Exactly, this is bang on. In terms of compliances and to support what what was rightly mentioned is, we did a lot of study and analysis in terms of how the challenges span out, and you'll be surprised to see that there are more than 61,228 regulatory events that have changed or happened across 190 countries, and these 190 countries have 1,300 regulatory bodies. That's the kind of complexity of compliance that we are talking about. And when we say regulatory events, it spans across changes in the corporate tax laws, the tax rates, the leave policies which are there, the cross-border transfer restrictions which are there, the changes in the various schemes like parental benefits, pension schemes, worker safety, and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of the problem that we are dealing with. Now, also what happens is the intensity of that problem is such that failing to keep up with the regulations will risk massive fines and operational disruptions. We are all aware, one law in our country is minimum wages, right? And we all have visibility to it. And how often does minimum wages change? Every one of us knows. And it's sometimes in cities, sometimes in jurisdictions, sometimes in states, right? And we have to keep up the pace, and one non-compliance can lead to any extent of repercussions, right? And here we also remember that the cost of non-compliance is always much more than the cost of compliance, right? So this is India, and when you extrapolate it on your global expansion scale, you see the magnitude of the issue in terms of tracking, in terms of hiring the employees in a compliant way, in terms of paying them compliantly in the right currencies, ensuring that the right filings happen from the statutory perspective, and when they exit, then we also have to ensure that the exit also happens in a compliant way, and the full and final settlement also happens in a full and in a compliant way. But when we see this is the magnitude of the biggest hurdle, what the companies are doing right now is, whether it's a payroll, whether it's a contractor they have, whether benefits, we have got different providers in different countries, right? Which take care of the compliance or these regulations. Now, while they may be good providers, they may not be that good providers, but when we have got different providers, multiple providers will lead to multiple points of failures in our systems, and that's a given fact. Have any one of us encountered in present or past organization that using multiple providers have led to a lot of complexity and multiple points of failure? Anyone has experienced? You have experienced. Okay. So this is the business for us day in and day out that we deal with, and it has come to such an extent that we have seen businesses completely going at risk because of non-compliance on labor issues in a particular country, right? So that's where it's very important. Secondly, when we use legacy solutions or multiple partners, then IT data has to speak to HR, has to speak to the finance. And then there is a struggle in collaboration because most of us are on state-of-the-art ERPs, whether it is SAP or Oracle or other ERPs which are there. But if the compliance system or the HR system is legacy, they would struggle talking to each other, right? And then again, we've got a lot of multiple systems floating around in the IT stack for the company. So that becomes very complex. Now this issue becomes absolutely compounded when we are into a merger and acquisition situation, right? Because we have to acquire, when we are merging a company, we have to ensure that culturally, in terms of benefits, in terms of onboarding, in terms of experience, there may be cases of separation. There may be different policies which have to merge. So that becomes super complex when you are doing cross-border merger and acquisition. The solution that we have is in terms of all-in-one global workforce platform. When we say all-in-one global workforce platform, it not only takes care of the payroll, but different kinds of payroll. Suppose it's a global payroll where you have entities in multiple countries. You want a single view of that, compliant view of that, or whether it is a local payroll, whether it's the native payroll is required in few geographies or countries across the world, specifically for US, for EORs, for contractor payrolls, and for PEOs. So basic crux in terms of the payrolling part. Now, HR, of course, is much more in terms of employee experience, in terms of the right kind of user experience, employee engagement, and therefore, the extension to that is the engagement platform, the right benefits. Different countries will have different kinds of benefits which will keep the employees not only motivated but also attract the right talent at the right time for the right place. So if the right benefits are there, then definitely the access becomes to the right talent becomes much more easier. The right kind of compensation. We may not know the right kind of benchmarks in terms of compensation in the geography that we are expanding. So at Deel, we have a compensation practice, comp and pen practice, which ensures that for a certain level of worker in a particular country, in a particular domain, with a skill set, you will exactly come to know what's the range of compensation, fixed, variable, etc. That may be looked at. So your business plans, your briefs to the business or to the partners who will help you in onboarding can happen in that way. And of course, the workforce planning and the applicant tracking systems. Now, this comprises of the entire pre-hire to post-retire life cycle when we are thinking about getting an employee. And this we are doing across 130 countries for you. So that's what the solution is. But the good part is we're not stopping there. For example, you hire an employee and you want to equip that employee with the right kind of IT equipments. There are many times that an employee is hired, but still they are awaiting the right IT equipments in terms of laptops, in terms of the right tablets, phones, or the right access to the softwares, or the right endpoint protection, or the device management, the identity management. So all that is also provided in the HR tech platform by Deel itself. We don't have a third party who provides it. We go the next step in providing that. Now, these employees can be at multiple levels. Some of them may require an equity part as well as part of their compensation. We have a complete practice around that. Of course, background checks. Of course, the immigration help, etc., which is required by the mobility team. All that is completely baked into one single platform. So tomorrow, if your business plan is requiring expansion into any of these 130 countries across the world, you have a solution, a compliant solution with you, which can help, which can enable. Very important is that we already are in companies which have invested seriously into the HR tech platforms, whether it is the likes of Workday, SAP, or others. So when we started integrating, we found that we will not make you do the efforts all again from the scratch. We have got 110 plus enterprise grade integration on APIs and Workday, SAP, UKG to say the least. So these are about 110 plus APIs which are there. And our adjustment APIs can automate and sync any payroll input in the world. Any payroll input in the world. So that's the kind of detailing that has been done because of an engineer to engineer partnerships that we have formed. And these are all readily available with us. to integrate. So tomorrow you decide that, hey, you are merging with a company which is on a X platform in a particular geography, and you want to integrate those data, those payroll, those compliances into your core platform. It's a click for us in terms of integrations because of our adjustment APIs that we have. Now, given the globalization and how Indian companies are going global and global companies are coming in India, what we thought is that multiple technologies will only make the things complex. So we've made our core platform in terms of our payroll calculation engines, etc., common, and we are now with the core platforms common. We are already there in 51 countries with the same common platform, and this ensures instant calculations, payroll calculations without delays, with of course expansion plans. And by end of next 2 years, we plan to be in with our own core platform in about 100+ countries. This is an inspiring quote from Robert Collier. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out, and that's what we firmly believe in. Just to understand these aspects more, we also discussed a lot with India business leaders, and these were the leaders from large and mid enterprises with thousands of employees. And essentially, we wanted to do a pulse check in terms of what we are thinking in terms of talent management, adoption of AI, and how things are progressing with respect to the global expansion. What's the view? What's the exact understanding? And I'm happy to share some of the key aspects with this forum. When we discussed about what are the top factors of talent attraction and retention, and many of us will say that it may be the salary package, right? Who believes that it's only salary package? Okay, so what we found was 75% of the employees will give more weightage to work-life balance and flexible working arrangements, and that is the top of the chart in terms of attracting and retaining the right talent. Do we all agree with that? This is the topmost? Great. Then comes the opportunity for career growth and advancement. That's the second. Third is the salary. So even if that means that if you're not able to get the right salary, to the best of the salary, the highest salary, but we are able to give a good work-life balance and opportunity of growth and flexible work arrangements, we'll still get the best talent, right? All of us agree to that? Thank you. And then comes the benefits, and then the company's value and culture along with the benefits. Again, the biggest of the HR challenges come in terms of keeping up with the trends and benefits. In what are the latest trends? Are we giving the right kind of benefits to our employees? Whether the flexibility in terms of benefits like insurance, parents' insurance, the benefits like cards in terms of spending cards, in terms of other benefits which are for the next gen benefits, are we giving them? And that's keeping up with that has many leaders told us that that's a major challenge for them. Of course, there is a talent war, and finding the right talent comes in for that. Another big challenge is, and we have all been through the kind of energy and efforts that gets taken when you decide to change a digital HR partner, right? So that again is a challenge. And then handling multi-country payroll with the kind of multi-currencies, multi-compliances, again becomes challenging. AI is the most in word with generative AI, agentic AI now coming in, but we as an HR fraternity has different kinds of challenges in terms of identifying and hiring the right AI resources for our companies. And the biggest challenge there is the high salary expectations, which are there, intense competition. And another big challenge is what do we assess the candidate on? Because AI itself is a very, very relatively new field. So what do we assess the candidate in terms of his skills, in terms of his the right competencies in AI that he should have to be able to deliver. So lot of clear aspects came out, and it all solidifies into the key takeaways, which I thought I'll share with you. The key takeaways from this discussions that we had in terms of the business leaders, in terms of challenges, etc., are that global hiring is now a key talent strategy. And when we say that, businesses are increasingly looking beyond borders to access the diverse, high-quality talent, fill the skill gaps, and remain competitive. So if your organization is not able to find anyone in India on a skill, today you can look at beyond the borders, find the right talent in X geography, in X continent, in X country, and companies like Deel can enable it very seamlessly. So the talent boundaries are now redefined with the kind of the new technologies that have come in. Remote work, and we all have seen a lot of remote work, pandemic, post-pandemic era, but still the remote work remains very, very relevant, especially with startups adopting remote work. Of course, cost effectiveness, as well as attracting and retaining the right talent takes a front seat when it comes to remote work. When it comes to managing global teams, a unified platform is a key to manage the global teams, not only to address the compliance hurdles, but also multi-currency, multiple payroll hurdles which come in to manage the global teams. Another myth that was there at some point in time is automation is equal to job loss, which is not true, by the way. Automation is not equal to job loss. Companies are adopting technologies like AI to automate the processes and reduce cost, but at the same time, we have found that the companies are upskilling the employees to evolve into different future roles, and that's an integral part of their strategy. That's very different from the common perception that that automation is equal to job loss, which is not the case. We are seeing companies which are having 4 to 5 tools, HR tools, which is making the entire experience for the employees broken, the entire compliance very manual, and also putting a lot of pressure in terms of the maintaining different tech stacks for HR. So too many tools are there. So that again is a trend which companies are wanting to to consolidate into one single system. And of course, the role of AI in HR is absolutely clear because businesses, especially in the tech sector and the startups, are integrating AI into the core HR practices to improve operations and to attract the right talent. So these are the few key takeaways, and I'm open for any questions if anyone has, or we can connect. Thank you. We have the time? Okay. So whatever we discussed, I just want to to show you a small video of what we exactly doing, how it is translating to things in reality.
I'm Chris Lee, head of sales at Deel. Today, we're going to follow the journey of an HR leader working in an AI company. But not just any HR leader, a one-person powerhouse who's managing the entire employee lifecycle. Hiring, onboarding, payroll, performance, all with Deel as their trusted partner. The company uses Deel for their domestic US team and their entire international team as well. So let's get started. The product design team needs AI talent, but local candidates are limited. So we're expanding globally. With Deel, workforce planning isn't done in spreadsheets. HR, finance, and hiring managers collaborate in real time. As headcount requests are made on the platform, I can approve them in a few clicks without the bottlenecks. Now, where should I hire? With Deel's global hiring insights, I can instantly compare different countries based on employer costs, compliance, and talent availability. Turns out, Brazil is the best option for our team. Next, let's start recruiting. Instead of spending hours searching LinkedIn, I post the job on Deel Talent. Deel connects me with a hiring partner, and within 24 hours, resumes start rolling in. One candidate stands out, Gabriel Silva. He's a great match. From here, it's easy. I message the hiring partner, schedule interviews, create an offer, and just like that, Gabriel is hired. Deel kicks off onboarding right after I click hire. Since I already have an entity in Brazil, Gabriel joins as a direct employee. I enter his details and Deel handles everything: compliance, background checks, and even equity. I finalize his contract, send his Deel invite, and his profile syncs instantly with our HRIS and org chart. Gabriel signs and joins the team. Shipping a MacBook in Brazil is complicated. Import taxes, customs delays, and logistics can be a hassle. Instead, I use Deel IT to source and ship his laptop and accessories. They arrive pre-installed with security software and our company app access, so he has everything day one. To make onboarding even smoother, I create a workflow to send Gabriel a welcome email and grant him access to our learning courses, all without any manual work. I'll also set up a 30-day check-in survey to track his onboarding experience. Gabriel's been here a few weeks, so it's time to check payroll. Normally, managing multiple pay cycles across countries is complex, but Deel makes it easy. Payroll is processed automatically, real-time calculations keep everything accurate. And if I ever need local compliance info, the Deel Compliance Hub is always available. Managing a team of 150 isn't about getting people in the door. It's about making sure they thrive. With Deel Engage, I launch a performance review cycle, set up 360-degree feedback, and even sync performance increases directly into compensation adjustments. With insights and reports ready, I walk into my leadership meeting prepped with updates on headcount, payroll costs, and growth rate across all countries. Just as I wrap up, Gabriel pings me about expense submissions. Instead of waiting, he asks Deel AI and gets an instant answer. No delays or hassle. From hiring and onboarding to payroll and performance, I've done it all seamlessly in one place. Imagine how much easier your job could be with Deel.
This was a snippet. This was a snippet of what the platform is, and it's ever evolving to ensure that whatever we are doing day in and day out, we move away from the transactional work and give the transactional work to the platform and move towards more value-added, more strategic work, and so that we can work directly with the business to add value day in and day out. And that's what Deel's endeavor is. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, please put your hands together. Thank you so much, sir, for such insightful presentation. And we have a small token of appreciation for sir as well. So to give away the momentum, may I invite Mr. Rajiv Kumar, VP and Head, HR Datrix. Sir, please join in to present a small token as they are here with us and they have given us their precious time.